Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord arrives on Disney Plus at a precarious moment for the Star Wars franchise. It carries the burden of being animated in an era when even devoted fans have grown selective about which corners of this universe they are willing to explore in order to follow this story. But make no mistake, it is the best Star Wars animation has been in years. The series is set on Janix, a rain-drenched urban planet that owes as much to Blade Runner as to anything previously seen in Star Wars. Imperial control is tightening. The criminal underworld is scrambling to adapt or be crushed. And at the center of it all is Maul. Sam Witwer returns to the role he has voiced since the Clone Wars, and his performance remains one of the most underappreciated achievements in this entire franchise. Because the Maul Witwer plays is not the silent, striking figure from the Phantom Menace, he's something far more complicated. A man who was made into a weapon before he was old enough to understand what was being done to him. Cold and controlled on the surface, but underneath, rage, self-loathing, and an unhealed wound that is never fully closed. This series is created by Star Wars Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni, the man who has shepherded Star Wars animation since 2008, and who understands better than perhaps anyone working in this franchise how to make the mythology feel emotionally alive rather than merely encyclopedic. Working with showrunner Matt Miknovitz, Filoni has created a show that is as striking in its quality as it is structurally, and just how serialized it is. This is not a collection of episodic adventures loosely connected by recurring characters. This is a single sustained narrative with genuine momentum. Each episode building on the last, the stakes escalating in a way that rewards attention and punishes impatience. For Star Wars animation, this is a refreshing approach, and it very much works. The emotional anchor of the season is Devon, a Jedi Padawan turned refugee in the aftermath of Order 66, and voiced with compelling ambiguity by Gideon Adlon. Devon is heroic, but she is also frightened and increasingly susceptible to the logic of the dark side. Not because she's weak, but because she has survived things that would test anyone's faith in the light. Her dynamic with Maul, who sees in her both a potential weapon and something he might recognize from his own ruined past, generates the season's most resonant dramatic tension. It recalls the best scenes Star Wars has produced in this vein. It doesn't yet reach their heights, but it aims at them deliberately. And it comes close enough, often enough, to make clear that this show knows exactly what it's reaching for. The supporting cast elevates the material throughout. Dennis Haysbert's Master Daki, Devon's pacifist mentor, provides the season's moral center. His commitment to nonviolence in a world where violence is the primary language of power is treated not as naivete, but as a genuine philosophical position worthy of respect, and ultimately of consequence. Wagner Moura's Brander Lawson, a police captain trying to do his job honestly under Imperial rule, is the show's most grounded presence. A man whose decency is being slowly ground down by circumstances that don't reward it. These are not peripheral characters, they are the emotional architecture that makes the finale hit as hard as it does. But the finale transcends all of it, because Darth Vader shows up. He steps silently from the fog in the penultimate episode, and the show handles it with exactly the right restraint. He doesn't speak, he doesn't need to. He is simply a force of nature, unstoppable and implacable. And here's what I love most about how Maul Shadowlord uses him. Maul doesn't survive by matching Vader, he survives through deception and treachery as only Maul could. The season ends not with resolution, but with foundation. Maul has escaped, but he's lost most of his alliance, and he has the new apprentice he's been maneuvering toward all season. The story isn't complete, it isn't meant to be. We know there's another season coming, and where Maul's story is headed after that in Solo and later in Rebels. But what Maul Shadowlord has accomplished in 10 episodes is something more valuable than a tidy ending. It has demonstrated that Star Wars animation can carry the full emotional and thematic weight of this franchise. These stories are not just supplementary material. The way this season builds on prior knowledge of the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch gives certain moments their impact. It demonstrates a genuine love for the corner of Star Wars it inhabits, and for the ongoing narrative that's been building over several seasons of animation. That these are essential chapters in a saga that is still very much being written. With The Mandalorian and Grogu just weeks away, Ahsoka Season 2 coming a few months after that, and Dave Filoni's larger narrative continuing to take shape, Star Wars Maul Shadowlord arrives as exactly the right reminder of what this universe is capable of. So if you're a Star Wars fan and you haven't started Maul Shadowlord yet, what are you waiting for? And if you are watching, let me know in the comments, where does Maul Shadowlord rank among your favorite Star Wars projects? And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Fandom Frontline for more deep dives into the stories that shape our fandom.